feeling sad. It is a very uncomfortable, at times familiar emotion. At times we try to push it away. At times we try to avoid it. At times we try to not to go down the road of sadness because we get too scared and we might get too down too deep. But sadness is a natural emotion, like other emotions that we feel. Sometimes we try to hide and push it away and get distracted so we don't feel that sadness. We fill our days with things and activities so that we don't feel the sadness. Yet the sadness is there. And it might be covered up with an emotion that we feel more comfortable with, such as feeling anxious or feeling angry. Know there are moments to smile and laugh, and there are moments to get in touch with the emotion of sadness. We can all feel sad for different things and experience sadness in different intensities. We are normal. We are programmed to feel sad when we experience a loss or when we perceive a loss. And the level of intensity can be the difference between feeling sad and grieving. Grieving is a more of an intense sadness. And whatever we are in this moment, it's okay. Why are you feeling sad in this moment? Just allow the sadness to come without judging, criticizing. Let the body, the mind speak in thoughts, in words, in writing. You are safe to express your sadness. We are safe to express our sadness. We are normal to express our sadness. It It's okay to express our sadness. It is healthy to express our sadness. It is safe to feel our sadness. Pause the video if you need more time. There are things that makes us sad. And it can be big things like death and loss. And there are different stages of that grieving. When we lose someone, but also when we lose something that is significant in our life. That could be a relationship, could be a status, could be a job, could be an activity, a physical change in our body, loss of health, physically, mentally, emotionally. And it can also be little things. We can feel sad when things don't go the way that we need them to go, especially if there's something, someone that we hope that would fulfill a need and is not happening or not happen. And we can't find a solution, an alternative. When we feel more tired, more stressed, more anxious, more angry, have more challenges physically, mentally, emotionally, things can get to us with more ease. I'm going to connect with the I so that we can connect with an I statement rather than you or we. If something resonates, just feel. And if it doesn't resonate, just let it pass. Either way, it just brings an awareness to how we can feel and perceive, and perhaps others can feel and perceive. I feel sad when I am hoping for a type of connection. And it doesn't happen. And that could be a connection with someone that I would naturally expect a connection. But that connection is just not available. Either because the other person is not emotionally available for different reasons, not physically present, has different priorities and interests. I feel sad when I know that spending a moment bonding and connecting is important for a very important relationship, and that connection is not happening. Because there's a difference of priorities, interest, physical and emotional availability, different way of expressing love. I feel sad when I want to have a connection with someone that I consider important, but I don't know how. And whatever attempts I may make, it might not be sufficient or the right ones. And there is a good reason why that be, powerful reasons why there should be a connection, yet there isn't. And the closer the proximity, the sadder it is. I feel sad when I try to connect. And it's just not possible. I feel sad when I need to connect. In the moment, I don't see that there is anyone available. My perception is that no one is available in that moment. And if there is someone physically available, we're not connecting. So it feels very lonely. I feel sad when there is someone very important. And I know that the reality of life is that the days are numbered. And I do know that the regret will come for not having made an effort, not spending time. I just know that sooner or later I'll hear that they departed. And instead of making the most of it while they are in this physical presence, existence, I find myself of not getting in touch, connecting. In part because I don't feel good and I don't want them to worry. In part because I don't see the point of getting attached only. to get to downward and pain of separation. In part because by getting through to the one person, I have to manage others that may react in ways that makes me feel perhaps not respected, or trigger some reactions in me which I do not want to experience. I feel sad when someone expects something of me and I see that as a realistic expectation, but yet I cannot fulfill that. I feel sad when I see others struggling, suffering. I feel sad when I have a problem that affects me and my relationships, close relationships. Or I see a problem and I don't know how to solve. No matter how many times we try to address, it doesn't get resolved. And it gets tiring, exhausting, draining. But the pain of cutting it off and separating is greater, so that one just endures the disappointments and sadness. I feel sad when I witness gentleness, expressions of gentleness, expressions of positive emotions, expressions of celebration. Especially when those expressions are gentle and genuine and come from the heart, and everyone is connected. Because highlights a missing, a wishing, a preference. That is not happening, or did not happen, or that I struggle to see it happening in my life. I feel sad when I am in an environment that involves other people, and I don't know if I can trust, if I feel safe. And how to go about it, especially when I know there is a benefit, but also a potential risk of getting hurt and potentially not being safe, not feeling safe. I feel sad when someone in my life, in my closest relationship, is disrespectful, rude, mean, puts me down, is abusive. Doesn't respect my physical personal space, doesn't respect my thoughts, my opinions, doesn't respect my emotions, doesn't respect my wishes and preferences. I feel sad when I perceive that nothing is working and I only see the bad, the failings. I feel sad when I make space and time to bond, to connect, because I see the importance and the other person doesn't see it as important of value. Or we bond and then things just turn sour from one second to the other so quickly. Where you keep on hoping for change, but that change occasionally happens and some other times it doesn't. And while some people might be easy to cut the cord, some others are a little bit harder, especially when there is a closer family member that we do not wish to cut the cord, where we have a preference to find solutions instead of creating separation. I feel sad when I don't engage in activities that I know will be best for me, that I know they will get the best of me, but somehow I'm just not managing the sequence, the doing. I'm not managing to the level that I consider to be at the minimum balanced, at the maximum perfect. I feel sad when others treat me unfairly, and when I feel that I need to fight for my needs and wants and preferences. I feel sad when there is not an easy, healthy, balanced way of finding solutions, where we just need to go through fighting to be heard, highlighting to show how thunting is important. It's just draining, tiring. I feel sad when I don't know how to manage my boundaries. The happier part of me feels more flexible, opened, and the vulnerable part of me wants to push back. It's not certain, questions the safety. Try to find that balance between this is my preference and can I work through this to find a new way of thinking, a new alternative which allows more flexibility of thinking, being. I feel sad when there is a situation which brings conflict of values, and whatever way I turn, I just feel bad. I feel sad when I feel misunderstood, judged, criticized, treated unfairly, not respected. Just going to give some space so that we can connect and allow for any other thoughts and feelings to come up. What else makes me feel safe, sad? And we don't need to go back to the past. Just in this moment, what makes me feel sad? Oh, in this moment, what is making me feel sad? Pause the video if you need more time. We can bring the hands to the heart and have a little soothing, little stroke. You can just wrap the hands against each other just to generate some warmth. Just wrap them, place them gently in our face, in our eyes, in the ears, jaw, throat, neck, and back to the heart. You can exhale with a sigh. And you're going to give ourselves a hug, a gentle touch. Close one nostril and exhale. Close the other nostril and exhale. Close and exhale. Close and exhale. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Notice the breath. See if you can deepen that breath. And if you can slowly exhale. Notice the breath. Take a full breath in and a slower breath out. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Breathe in and slowly exhale. Hands on the face. Notice the temperature. Cheeks. Notice the sensations. Eyes. Notice the sensations and the temperature. Notice the sound. Notice, without judging and criticizing, how does the body feel? And sigh with by allowing the tongue to come out. Breathe in and tap out and exhale. Breathe in and gently tap. Exhale. Now, a little gentle stroke, and the hands hear the sound, and place them on the cheekbones. Jaw. Allow the jaw to relax and part, the teeth to part, the tongue to relax. Bring the hands to the heart. Bring the chin to the chest. Exhale. Breathe in. Bring the head up. Breathe out. Turn to one side. Breathe in. And gently bring the head back. And exhale. Bring it to the center. Breathe in. And gently turn the head to the other side. And exhale. Breathe in. Exhale, bring the neck down. Gently rotate. Breathe in. Exhale, bring the head up and down in a circle. Bring the head to the center. Shake the hands. Bring the hands to the heart and the belly. Notice the belly rising and falling. It's okay to have my thoughts and feelings. I am normal. Sadness is a natural emotion. And it's okay to feel it. Take a full breath in and slowly out. Place the hands wherever you think that you need. Have a little sip of water. When we feel a bit sad, at the moment we are processing a loss, a lack, a wish, a need that is not being fulfilled, or perceived. It could be a perceived loss, or we are anticipating a loss. And it's important to make peace with the sadness, because like any emotion, it comes, we feel it, and then it leaves. If there are things that we can do, we can take those steps, and also recognize the things that are things that are outside of our control. So we focus on the things we can do to bring us soothing and comfort. And exploring, is there any other way that I can feel my need? What need do I have in this moment, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, environmentally? And then taking a baby step. If you feel that the options that we naturally go to are not available. For instance, we might go to a person or an activity, but we might find that perhaps the person is not available, or we don't have the energy or the financial resources or the time or the mood. Then what we are used to getting and doing only highlights a lack. So you're going to see if there's an alternative way that we can provide for our need. Can we connect with ourselves with compassion? I choose to be compassionate with myself. I validate my thoughts and emotions. It's okay to have needs. I deserve to have my needs fulfilled in a way, and I accept that they can be fulfilled in a way that is possible and realistic and safe. Can I connect with myself a little more? Connect with my pain, but also make space for the things that are working out. What is working out in this moment? Pause the video if you need more time. What do I have in this moment that is neutral? That is good. That is positive. That is beautiful. Have I gone through challenges in the past and overcome them? What resources did I use that was helpful in overcoming? Exhale. Inhale. And slowly exhale. Take a slightly fuller breath. And slowly exhale. Fully empty. Have another sip. Getting in touch with our emotions, acknowledging our hurts and pains, finding alternative, being compassionate, and giving ourselves a little extra love, choosing to be with us and supporting. And then accepting where we are. Sometimes we want to be in a different position in life, and the things that we have in our relationships, but it just doesn't seem to happen, and at times it feels that none of them are working. But it's important to recognize that our brain at times, when something is not working, we're more likely to not look after ourselves as well as in a balanced manner. For instance, are we eating sufficiently? Are we having a balanced, varied diet to give ourselves the nutrients that our body needs? Are we spending time in nature, in fresh air, giving our body movement? Are we connecting with ourselves, with our heart, with our compassion, with loving ourselves? And are we connecting with others? Now it's a little harder, because connecting with others, there are many things outside of our control. And often we tend to fixate on the one person that we think that we need the connection from, either because it is a relative that we value the relationship, or a friend that has the skills, the ability, or that we can get what we need out of each other in a natural way without being forceful. It's just the perfect fit, but the person is just not available for a variety of reasons. But also could be we'd get fixated in an activity, but for some reason is not the right solution, because the activity might involve some negatives, some drawbacks, or having something that perhaps we can't do it in the moment, or don't have in a moment, the time, money, energy. So in other ways can we provide for this deep need that we have? Can we connect with the universe at large, with a higher energy and a higher power? Whatever it is that we resonate or appreciate or believe, or just making the space to gain this moment. Can't think of the solution, can't think of anyone or an activity, so I'm just going to ride this wave, accept my thoughts and feelings. Give to myself what I can give and be patient and allow the thoughts and feelings to come and go. And just looking at it for what it is, instead of making it mean that I feel sad or my relationship doesn't work, and then making it mean that you can make it mean that we are not lovable, that we don't have what it takes, that there is something wrong with us, and then that only increases our suffering and struggle. You can simply look at it. These are my sad thoughts, and these are my sad feelings, and this is me. Recognizing I also have some neutral experiences and neutral thoughts and neutral emotions, because we tend to get tunnel vision and only fixate on these things that are not working, these feelings that don't feel good. And while it's good to recognize and make peace and feel it, it's also good to do it. Just because I feel them doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. Okay, no one is perfect. And there might be some behaviors that I could address, that I could improve. We all do, because we are humans. We are not robots. We don't get it right all of the time. Yes, there's opportunities to learn, to improve. But also recognizing there are things that are good, that are working, that we have, that are behaviors that we access and can access, and getting a little bit detached. Notes are detached so we don't feel things. It's just, I'm not my emotions, I'm not my thoughts, and we could place them in paper in our hands. Okay, these is my thoughts, this is my emotions, but I'm not my thoughts and I'm not my emotions, because my emotions and thoughts can come and go and can change and can get bigger and can get smaller. And if I focus my attention on something neutral, I'll feel differently. And if I focus on my attention on something that is working, I'll feel differently. So they come and go, like the wave, like the weather. Now I just have a little momentum, that's all. I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions. I am the feeler of my feelings and the thinker of my thoughts. And the I that I think is me is more than one thought, more than one behavior, more than one category of thoughts and more than one category of behaviors and more than one category of feelings. The I that I am is a human being that adjusts and behaves and reacts to different stimulus, different environments, different people, depending on my life experience, my abilities, my coping skills. So we behave differently and feel differently in different environments and different challenges. And it's not to say just get rid of all the bad and only focus on the good, because even within the good there'll be strife and struggle and challenges, because there are the inevitable parts of up and downs of life, of challenges. We might want a child, and there are wonderful things out of having a child, but there are also challenges. The same with relationships, the same with work, the same of having a home or anything, or having a hobby. Everything in life has ups and downs. There's health and there's sickness. There's abundance and there's lack. And we just need to do our best to navigate through those. And the brain just automatically goes into the bad, based on our prior experiences and coping skills, and once our survival. But it's important to also make space and check, in this current moment and context, am I physically safe? If you're not safe, remove yourself from the situation. Create a plan where you create safety by exiting, by leaving, by going to a public space, by speaking with a doctor. Am I emotionally safe? Again, we cannot control other people, but what can I do to feel emotionally safe? We can remove ourselves from the situation. We can speak up. I'm not okay with this. I will not tolerate this. I can't control you, but I will remove myself if this happens. And then environmentally, what can I do to feel safer? What about for my thoughts? What can I do to deal with ruminations? Perhaps I can get in touch with what's the purpose and function of this thought. Is this thought helping me? Is it helpful? So many of our thoughts go round and round. Okay, what's the function and purpose of this thought? Is fixating on this thought helpful to solving, to feel better? Okay, if it's helpful, then let's try to find solutions. If it's only creating more anxiety, what other thoughts can I think and repeat? I could fixate on, yes, nothing is working, and feel more and more miserable, more and more sad, to the point where I feel anxious and depressed. Or I could fixate intentionally, what is working right now? What is neutral right now? What is good right now? What is positive right now? What is beautiful right now? And I can choose to repeat that as many times as needed, as my brain learns to pay attention to the things that are neutral and good. Just to find a little moment of balance and perspective. Let's connect to the heart. Notice the breath rising and falling. Notice the thoughts. Notice the breathing. And also I can open my eyes. 7 with the sip. Take a full breath in and slowly out. Breathe in and slowly out. I could allow my brain to stay stuck in the past. Just go round and round. What happened? Just trying to find a solution. What shall I do with this? How can I avoid this in the future? That can lead me to a place of feeling anxious, depressed, hopeless. The brain could also fixate on the future, how I'm going to solve this, and feel anxious, hopeless and depressed. Or I could just, yes, that is time and space to notice, pay attention, find solutions, reflect on what's working, what we would be doing differently, what we learn, what we prefer, what we would seek to do differently. But there's also space and time to focus on the present moment. What can I hear in this moment? What sounds can I hear in this moment? What can I see in this moment? Just look around. Without judging or criticizing, simply looking. And then what can I feel? In terms of emotions, in terms of touch. Textures. And what can I touch right now? What can I taste? Perhaps what's the taste of water? Becoming more grounded and present in this moment, in this physical moment, in this context and time. Am I physically safe? And also, we can choose to focus in the short term, right now, this minute, the next hour. And if you can cope with more, then we can fix on the next couple of hours. And then when we cope without, then we can focus on half a day. And when we manage that, then we can focus on a day. Just focus on our short terms. It's a way of reducing our anxiety, because many things often turn out differently than we anticipate. We don't have the resources that we will have in the future to deal with things if they happen. And we can end up losing so much mental energy and physical energy. Trying to address perceived threats that we are perceiving, they're not actually happening, and they might not even happen. Just recognizing that's the way our brain works. That is the way the brain is programmed to work. When we can find ourselves automatically thinking the worst, catastrophizing that the worst will happen, that we are not going to cope, that we're going to be alone and sad forever, that we'll never have a balanced relationship or balanced activity or things that are important to us. Our brain goes into these extreme ways of thinking, either love or hate, all or nothing, and recognizing that often we feel more sad, we grieve more, perceive things as being worse, because the way our brain is biased, programmed, and also our life experiences and the way we know. But also recognizing that we might have felt hopeless in situations where we were young, we're dependent on others, and we didn't have the maturity, the know-how, the coping skills. And that part is still in us and still hurts and struggles and needs healing. But it is also a part of us that has overcome so many obstacles, that is resilient, and that is a part of us that is compassionate and loving and can connect with a higher energy that can soothe and heal. And that is a part of us that can see the perspective, the bigger perspective, the balance, more of our rational mind. They can say, okay, it's not perfect, but I don't know how, I don't know when, but based on some of the experiences, things eventually fall into place. They have a way of turning around, bit by bit we find solutions. So, just gonna choose to take it easy. And find ways of finding a little bit of balance. Balance on the eating, healthy drinking, moving, doing small activities that helps us give that sense of satisfaction and achievement, even if it only means preparing one tiny little meal or managing a tiny little walk, a couple of stretches, just to feel a little bit better, and prioritizing that sleep so that our body gives, so that we give ourselves a chance to heal, recover, get stronger. It's a little harder when we don't sleep enough to cope with life in life's terms. Remember, just a season, just a phase, just a moment. Release that sigh. A little sip of water. And shake it off. Shake. Shake. Stand up. Stretch. And let go. Stand up. Stretch and let go. Take a full breath in. And I'd like you to stand up and kick, shake, let it go. Breathe in. Shake and let it go. I know. So, release that sigh. Oh. No, we're not minimizing, we're just creating a little space for a different kind of emotion. Oh. Just allow that sigh of relief to come out. Let it out. Breathe in. And slowly out. And let go side to side. And pat the belly, tap the chest, and have a little quieter laugh. Yes, it's one part of us that gets dramatic and gets intense and feels things, especially if we tend to be more of a feeler. But on the other side, we also feel the highest and the neutral. So let's make space for that. Our heart beats up and down. Okay, so I guess so natural and normal you are. What is a normal? It's a range. Now, if you are struggling with depression, that's a more intense feeling of sadness, and that tend to affect our perceptions, our ability to manage things and look after ourselves, and we can feel very heavy on our limbs, and even basic things just seems so hard, so difficult. If you have coping skills and you're managing that in a way that provides your needs, that's okay. If you feel that is too much and you're not coping and has a very detrimental effect in your life, your relationships, then seek help, because there is support and there are solutions. Okay, and it's a little bit harder to see the silver lining if we are struggling with depression. So there are solutions. Just when we're feeling depressed, we fail to see them, and we think that the whole world is against us and everything is bleak. So and you could start losing hope. So seek help, speak with your health professional, a doctor, share your struggles, because there are solutions. And if you feel that perhaps some of the solutions are something you might not be receptive to, then just be open and transparent. I'd like to be a help with this, but I am not comfortable, or in this moment in time, I'm not receptive to this. What alternatives, solutions can you guide me? So one of those could be, some people might not want to deal with the stigma of seeing someone or being part of a group or getting in touch with their thoughts and feelings, because it might be too painful, or taking medication. There could be many reasons why people could fail to seek help, or feeling that they're failing or ashamed, or that might highlight a bigger problem. So just be honest with your doctor. I understand you're trying to help, or I hope you can help, and these are the things that I am not comfortable with, or I'm not receptive in addressing or in this way, but I am open and receptive to receiving help in a different way. And this way, perhaps together, the doctor and you can find alternative solutions, because often when we are struggling, we tend to have tunnel vision, and we only get fixated on the things we don't want, the things that are not working, the things that are not good, and we fail to see that there are other solutions. So speaking with someone that is neutral, like a doctor, can help provide a different kind of perspective and insight. Love from the heart. Big hug. And the sun just came out. Isn't that great? I hope you feel a little bit more relieved. If you're still feeling a sadness, don't beat yourself up. That's okay too. The body knows what to do, and eventually we'll just go through it. And if you need more help, ask for that help. Equally, what can you do that can help you feel a little bit better? A bit of fresh air and movement. If you can't manage a long time because your thoughts might be flooded with negative thoughts, worries and anxieties, can you just take 5 minutes outside, a quick walk? Take a little book. And then come back in and then repeat. Make it manageable. Small baby steps. And if you don't feel safe, just keep on saying, in this moment, in this current moment in time, am I physically safe? Because sometimes our brain gets stuck in the past, on the what ifs, which is more of a kind of anxious thoughts, a perceived threat. It's just the brain telling, and we're going to use that energy to check. I'm just going to use the energy that the body is giving me to check if I am physically safe in this moment and time. Not in the past, not in the future. Right now, in this context, in this moment and time. And focus, what can I do that is within my control? I can sigh out. I can give myself some compassion, love, healing, soothing. I can take a full breath in. Love, healing, compassion. And slowly out. Ease. And if it's possible, I can take a breath in and laugh it all off. And if it's unavailable, that's okay too. You can just simply exhale. Out. Just my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. That's it. What can I do? What shall I do with it? I can leave it on side, I can pay attention, get fixated, or I can choose to pay attention to something else. What else would I like to pay attention to? I could go and pay attention to that tree. That tree over there, that leaf. And I can fixate on it for a minute or two. What is working? What is good? What are the positives? And I can even make peace with what things are in this moment. It is what it is. That radical acceptance. It's not what I prefer to be, but I accept now what tiny baby step can I take from here. Then it's gonna move me towards finding balance, grounding. That is the heart, the breathing. And slowly out. And what baby step can I take towards taking a baby action that's gonna help me feel more empowered? Small baby step that is manageable. And do I need to rest? Do I need to sleep? I need to take it easy. So, what's going to be next? Self-soothing, self-love, self-acceptance. Yes, we want to be rational beings, all balanced at all times. No, we're not. That's our preference. But we can also have the ability to create mountains out of molehills and scare ourselves with our thoughts. But we also have our ability to gently bring our thoughts back to a more neutral space. Just taking your time. Just practice. For starters, we can just take it easy on our drinking water. If we have too much momentum because we're feeling too anxious and our body's giving us more energy, okay, what can I do with this energy? If you're feeling sad, we have less energy. If you're feeling anxious, okay, I can vacuum the house, I can move the pots, I can dig a hole. And if I'm feeling more tired and more sad, less energy, I can give myself a little rest. And then I can give myself a little movement by sitting upright, a bit more upright, adjusting, aligning, exhaling, and inhaling, and slowly out, shaking, and off we go. Good luck on your journey, you'll be okay. You'll be one baby step at a time. That's all. And then notice on the slight relief and slight improvement, and let that momentum be sufficient to turn that train in a different direction. That's all. We're not looking for big miracles. We're looking for relief, ease, a moment in time. You'll be okay. Just a moment. I believe in you. You can do this. And you're doing better than you think. Just don't feel it in this moment. You don't see it in this moment, but that's okay. Times we all get blinded, not by the light, but by the darkness. So you're gonna turn a tiny little switch, of light and hope, of possibility, of healing, of love. And just taking it easy on that climbing and resting, climbing and resting, on that acceptance, and then switching off to the neutral and the optimism when it's available, when it's possible. What is possible right now? What is possible right now? What is that I can do right now? Even if it's tiny, 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 baby, that will help me feel a bit of relief, a bit better. That is actually helpful. Even if I have to make a tiny little bit of effort, I could make a tiny little effort to go outside, to move, to get some fresh air, and give myself some credit and a pat on the back for about taking that step. Even if it doesn't go as well and as perfect and as good as I want. Just the fact that I've done it. And a tiny little baby step to have a little drink of water, a sip at a time. Because if you don't feel good, it's too much to drink too much. Well done me for this sip of water. Baby achievement. Yes. We have to work with what is available and possible in each given moment. A sip of water is an achievement. Yes! It is, because when we're struggling, it's hard. The basic things seem very hard. Okay, stretch. Exhale. Inhale. And love